Potatoes.
We're back.
Live.
It's truly rotten. Oh, yeah, the crew is back. We got some movies and then human snacks. We're eating cannibal food while we're doing this. And on the mic, we producing hits.
Yeah, he said we're back. It's like my friend said, that is whack. Doesn't mean what you think it means. Not where I come from. It means N-I-G-G-E.
It doesn't mean what you think it means. If you want to know, you got to ask my man O'Keefe. Yo, he's out of prison. He beat the charges. So did you guys know Andrew O'Keefe beat the charges? All right. We're talking Truly Rotten Potatoes are back, and we are in an area where there are loud cars and trucks going. We've got Morgan Quinn. We've got Mitch Gosling. We've got myself, Declan Shrub, and we don't have Hayden Quinn. Thank God.
And it's dark in here. I mean, we were saying it before, but it really is dark.
It got dark today. It's a dark episode.
We are in the studio in the dark lighting because we just watched a very dark movie. The first kids animated film, I believe, that we've watched for the 0%er critic ratings list.
That can't be right.
Nah, we watched that
No
one.
way.
What was the Christmas story about?
Pinocchio?
We did watch that.
That wasn't animated. That
wasn't
was
animated.
live
But
action.
No, we
one-
didn't watch the Pauly Shore
The
one. We should.
The Nutcracker. The Nutcracker.
Nutcracker.
Yeah, the Nutcracker in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had all the Nazi propaganda and stuff in that movie. But they were
You're
rats.
Yeah.
They were rats.
Yeah. But this movie is called The Queen's Corgi.
Queen.
And it was an animated movie for kids with some very adult references, some adult themes.
Yeah.
It was made by, where did we say this company was from?
It was a Belgian company.
Belgium.
That I think I looked up a few of the things that they did. They did some, I don't know, garbage. They did a My Little Pony movie. This was their 10th movie.
Hey, I think I knew somebody that is, what do you call them? Bronies?
Yeah.
Bronies. And now, for the last decade, or I mean, last time I checked, I'm assuming it's still going well, but they moved over to America to pursue a career in writing music for My Little Ponies fans.
Oh, those people.
Which is like, it's like chipmunk movie.
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just like speeding up stuff and singing about My Little Ponies, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been in
and
cars
he
with guys
performs
like that,
at
yeah.
like Brony
Conventions.
conventions and things, right?
I think so.
Like he actually makes his living making music for this very niche audience.
Yeah, huge head on this guy.
They make a lot of money making sexual art of the ponies too. Like that's a whole revenue stream for them. They want to fuck these ponies, right?
Oh, right. I
We
see.
want to see sexual art of the boys from the Truly Rotten Potatoes podcast. So if
Yeah,
you're a
send in
digital
your best.
artist, if you're into NFTs, if you're using Mid-Journey and Stable Diffusion,
Yeah, I
get
know.
Morgan, get Declan, get Hayden, get
know.
Mitch Gosling fucking each other on the podcast.
I know Stable
We
Fusion.
want to see some of these fan arts.
If you could just text in with your fan art, that'd be much appreciated. We love those texts.
And write,
Keep those texts
is it called
coming in.
slash fiction, Mitch? Is that what it's called? When it's like erotic fan fiction?
I think that sounds right. Yeah. That's correct.
We want to read long chapters of the four boys, getting down after a hard podcast.
Yeah, what happens behind closed doors? Because we leave the doors open when we're recording. But what happens when we close them? Hey,
If you want some details about us, I get dehydrated a lot. If you want to make it a bit more realistic, maybe these guys who bring me a Powerade or something like that, kick it off.
kick it off.
Kick it off.
For once, I'd like to have a conversation that doesn't end with you urging me to bring you a Powerade.
Always wanting some hydration.
Well,
this
I'm always
guy.
so puffed.
He's always...
I've lost a lot of salt and liquid.
Speaking of puffed, what about The Queen's Corgi, a 2019 English language Belgian computer animated comedy film produced by N-Wave Pictures?
Well, and starring legend of the podcast, we're all a big fan here, Jack Whitehall.
Oh, Jack Whitehall, it's so good to be here with you blokes today.
Oh, it's so nice.
As you know, I start every sentence and end every sentence with my name. I'm Jack Whitehall.
And how's your father? I heard you guys went on some holidays.
Jack Whitehall, that's right, yes. Me and my father, who we're quite the odd bedfellows when it comes to travel. You see, he has certain things that he likes, and I have the things that I like. and
Hey,
they're
it's me,
different.
Jack's dad. I'm a Cockney gangster, and everywhere we go on vacation, I ask for a happy ending. Sushi place, aquarium, jerk me off, please.
Father, I told you to wait in the car.
Well, I was waiting and no one was jerking, so I got back out and I started asking for a happy E.
These boys aren't going to give you an H ending here. I don't know why he calls them a happy E. It's true, we went to Japan and at every sushi bar we went to, he asked for a happy ending. I don't know if he knows what they are.
This bullet train is so fast. How fast can it get me off?
Well, speaking of getting off quickly, Donald Trump is in this movie.
Gotta go as well. See you guys. You're stuck with my dad now, Jack Whitehall.
Anyway, so the Queen's Corgi, right? It's this animated film. Mitch said it's a bit like what he expects Over the Hedge to be like.
Yeah,
and I was
starring
thinking,
Gary Shandling.
I was thinking The Secret Life of Pets, which I believe there's maybe 2 of those animated films.
Well,
haven't seen them. I don't have kids. I don't watch these movies.
That's a Louis C.K. joint, right?
Yeah, it is. I saw the first one in cinemas. And
Speaking of happy endings.
Dana Carvey was in it as well. Speaking of happy endings.
Wait, which one? Secret Life of Pets or Over the Hedge?
He was in Secret Life of Pets. So let's talk about Over the Hedge for a second, because I remember there being, yes, Gary Shandling's in it, but also Bruce Willis, Steve Carell, Wanda Sykes, Avril Lavigne, Nick Nolte. And I was almost certain that Norm Macdonald had a few lines in it. So
well, that's in the garbage era of DreamWorks. I think they had a few hits, and they hit us with like Shark Tale and then Over the Hedge, and those movies were just about.
Speaking of Shark Tale, I don't know if you've seen the new Chris Rock Netflix special that he did live.
No, I saw the bits where he's talking about Will Smith.
Yeah, so he does talk about Will Smith, and in it he has a line where he says, Will Smith is a lot bigger than me. Even in animated movies, my character in Madagascar is a something, and Will Smith is a shark.
Do it how Chris Rock would yell it.
Motherfucker! Oh god, that hurt. That hurt to even say. But the point of the story is, Will Smith does not play a shark in Shark Tale. He plays a small little bitchy fish. It's like
that's the whole point.
Yeah. So I'm like, Chris Rock, you got to do your research. Your character in Madagascar is bigger than Will Smith's character in Shark Tale.
Yeah, a horse is usually bigger than a fish.
If that specific part of the story is not 100% accurate, what else is he changing? Maybe he never got slapped at the Oscars. Maybe he got a happy ending at the Grammys. It's hard to tell.
I think that's probably right.
Sorry, I just heard my name, did I?
Father, back in the car. We've got to sit in the car until the end of the podcast. Then we can come in and ask for autographs.
Yeah, the point I was making about those DreamWorks movies is that those movies were just like, they established the status quo, but instead of Shrek, where it's like they break the status quo, Shark Tale, at the end of it, they realize that he's happier just working at a car wash. He doesn't care. Over the Hedge, they're happier not being a part of society, even though all their problems are from being on the other side of the hedge.
And who do you think has a bigger penis, Chris Rock or Will Smith? I mean,
man,
just from like the little tete-a-tete that they've had recently, I'm going to say it's
they should settle it like men, not with violence, but just with the old zip and whip, and whoever's got the biggest piece, both flaccid and erect, wins the competition.
The old-fashioned way,
and wins the love of Jada Pinkett Smith.
Everything is settled now by physically assaulting people in front of millions of viewers, and then years later, in front of millions of viewers with some sort of petty argument on stage in a scripted stand-up.
Let me tell you what really happened
many times.
Yeah. Something really funny about getting on stage like a year later and being like, let me tell you what really happened. I won that fight.
Let me say I actually won, and he's a bitch. That's right. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. Yes, he's a bitch. And that took 12 months of writing and rehearsing.
I loved that clip.
Right.
I've watched that clip about 1,000 times, the original slap, because there's something about where he slaps him and he says like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, and he just goes, I'm going to, or something. It's like slightly defiant, like I will.
What do you want me to do?
You slapped me. I already have decided I won't keep making jokes about it.
What you see there is not Chris Rock, but Chris in shock.
Whoa. Chris shocked.
Chris shocked. Okay.
Okay, let's get
gotta
back
move.
on. We've really got to get back on. So we're talking about this film. It's called The Queen's Corgi, and it is about Queen Elizabeth, rest in peace, the greatest leader we've ever had, the longest running monarch that I can remember in my living memory.
For sure.
This was a film that was panned by critics. So obviously it got a 0%. This is an official film from our list, our Bible of Rotten Tomatoes films with 0% critic ratings. But it's a kids movie, right? By all accounts, the style, the themes,
It likes to think it is.
it likes to think it is. There's a quote in the Wikipedia article for this one that I just had to read, which says the film was released in Belgium in 2019. It was panned by critics such as The Independent, who stated the film was, quote, deeply unpleasant and in no way suitable for children. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, look, I'll say in some ways it was suitable for children, but then there were other moments that immediately kicked it out of that camp of being suitable for children. But, you know, it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it opens with the sort of up sequence where there's no dialogue and it's just the queen falling in love with a puppy and then slowly he's the favorite.
Yeah, there's a montage, but it's not playing that beautiful like ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da.
No, and in fact, it's kind of interwoven with the opening credits where we see the main cast's names come on screen. So that happens for a good 20 or 30 seconds while we get this footage of a corgi being brought into the royal palace.
Yeah, and she already has 3 corgis as well. This is just like her newest corgi. But it's totally the Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Prince Philip.
And so it's realistic in that sense. And also this came out during the time of President Trump. The first term, obviously the second term, the second term starting in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And they have our opening sequence where the Queen gets her corgi. There's no dialogue. It's just music, and it's just showing you that this corgi is her favorite, and he's like a little bit of a troublemaker in a good way. He's not like a bad, rapscallion like the character
Charles
in Problem Child, which also had a montage about him. One of the other films we watched for the podcast. But this is just like, he's, a little bit cheeky and the Queen loves him. He's going to be the kind of favorite dog. He grows up. It shows like he's been there for 6 months. And then the movie really kicks off with an opening sequence where President Trump is visiting Buckingham Palace. Mitch, take it away.
Well, because it's really, you were really worried at the beginning because you're like, this could really end up being boring as fuck. And then,
no dialogue.
Yeah. And it looks like a shitty movie. Like all the design, it's not terrible, but you're like, this is probably one of your like red box movies. You see it at like a kiosk.
Supposedly the budget was $20 million.
20 mil.
Which
is how they got my boy Donnie.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think I've seen like usually like the depictions of Trump are trying to make fun of him more, and this is trying to make him like a goofy, fun character.
Yeah,
well,
it was
thing
pretty funny.
That got me
it was
was
an endearing take on Donald.
Yeah,
because like fuck Donald Trump.
They're making fun of him, but in this kind of light way, and not a very specific overall character
or accurate.
And the other thing they're doing is they're clearly also at the same level making fun of the British monarchy, the like English royals in general,
posh people.
Yeah, and so it's got all that where you're like, it doesn't feel like it's made by English people because it is making fun of the way they stand, the way they talk, the whole palace and everything. So that's we were talking about. I'm like, who made this? Because it's not American and it's not English. And then we looked it up and it's Belgian, and that just explains everything you need to know.
Belgian.
But there's a US version as well, you were saying.
Yeah, it looks like they recast all the voices, I guess, for some sort of English release.
This one would be considered the UK version? Or is it? Okay.
I think so.
We watched the UK version. And
the original, well, not original English, whatever.
The original
whatever the
cast
fuck
recording.
That was.
We watched the good version of the film. And it was like 85 minutes, so it's watchable.
Yeah, it was watchable. It didn't get boring either.
Yeah.
And like when Trump comes out, he's just got it's sort of like, all right, we're in this territory. And then he's like grabbing the queen whenever he goes in for a selfie. He says cheesesteak.
Yeah, it was a nice way to introduce it as well. They started putting up all these American decorations around Buckingham Palace. They had American flags on balloons, and we were all like looking at each other like, are they going to bring Donnie in, or is it Obama, or what is it? What year is it? And we're like, it's 2020. It's got to be Trump. And then they put out this Coke bottle that says, because you know how they have those funny novelty Coke bottles where you can get your name on it.
Yeah.
And I think for a while maybe they even did have this.
Kafefi?
Yeah. So it said Kafefi on the Coke bottle. Was that a real Coke bottle at one point? I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, that was a tweet that Donald Trump once made, which I guess was misspelling
like in the middle
coffee.
Of the night. I think that was like legitimately a pocket tweet or started to write and accidentally click send. But then, people went nuts about it. Because they're just like, what does this mean? What was he trying to say?
It was the Trump times. It was pretty confusing.
Yeah, Trump times part 1. Remember, we got part 2 coming up. Sequel soon. That was a weird moment because people really went nuts about Kafefi, and then he also kind of played into it where he was like, what does it mean? I mean, it's code. I'm always saying what I mean to say, and I've got subtext and things. And people are like, dude, you just accidentally like pocket tweeted, or maybe you were half asleep and you just typed it and it didn't make any sense. Like
high art.
It was just a typo.
Truly high art.
Anyway, so Donald Trump, the real Donald Trump, shows up in this movie, animated. They've made him extra fat, I feel like. He was more rotund than he is
They
already.
made him flatteringly fat. I was looking at that as well. Like, it was all in proportion.
It was well rounded out. Yeah.
He could have been muscly.
And
I like a fat Trump. Make him fat.
Yeah, make him fat.
That's fun.
Like he looks like Chris Christie or something.
And his partner was Ivanka, is that her name?
No, that's his daughter.
Melania?
Melania.
Melania was there. And
she had her own.
She's brought her own little corgi that she puts pink lipstick on, and
American style corgi as well. That was the main thing. You can tell that the Belgians, what their impression of all Americans are, is based on how they display Trump and Melania in this. Because Trump keeps grabbing the Queen and being like, "Let's get a selfie," and taking photos with her, and you're like, I don't think that's really like Trump does a lot of things that you can kind of categorize as trademarky, but grabbing people and making them take selfies with him isn't really one of them.
Oh, can I tell you something I wanted to trademark? And this isn't going to, it's a visual thing, so I'll describe it for the listeners. But it's when, when people want to like test the temperature or test the wind, which direction the wind is blowing. So they like lick their finger,
the end of their finger,
and then they put their finger up in the air and they're like, oh, it's due northeast. I want to do that, but stick my finger up my nose and then do it.
Show them all out.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like testing the temperature of the conversation or something. Like, just see, didn't know if this was too spicy or not.
Maybe if you just ever get caught picking your nose in public and you can tell there's an eye on you, you just do that next and they're like, oh, I think he's just taking the temp. Yeah, that's good.
She brings out this corgi. It's got pink lipstick on it. And the very first thing they do before even setting foot in the Buckingham Palace, the second thing after Trump takes a selfie with Lizzie, he calls her Lizzie.
Yes.
That was funny.
And this is all based on a real time that Trump visited England. And he went to the Queen's palace and they had a meeting. And, the press went nuts about it because, there's always things where you make small faux pas or miss a cultural understanding, or maybe in Trump's case, I don't know, walk along Buckingham Palace with like toilet paper hanging off your foot or something.
Yeah.
I don't really remember what he did.
He's got his foreskin on the outside of his pants.
Just the foreskin. The rest is zipped up. Perfectly.
Yeah.
This is how I do it.
Yeah. he zipped it up. It's excruciatingly painful, but he didn't want to admit to making a mistake. So he's like, no, it's just how we do it. It's called circumcision.
That's how I cool down my balls.
President Trump, you are bleeding all over the place. No, I'm not.
No, it's tomato
it's
sauce.
simply
Taste it, put it on your chips.
Simply the
Or as
most
you would
beautiful
say-
sauce.
This is just, I'm not, no.
It's Worcestershire sauce.
This is Worcestershire sauce from Texas. So then they bring in this dog, and the second thing they do after he takes a selfie with Lizzie is they make the announcement that their corgi is looking for a romantic partner.
Yeah.
So they line up the 4 corgis, one of which is the protagonist in
Rex,
this
played
film.
by Jack Whitehall.
Rex, played by Jack Whitehall. God, I'm glad he left. Him and his dirty father and his jacking off or whatever it was he was obsessed with. Happy endings, HEs. And then one by one, she goes through these 4 dogs, these 4 corgis.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're too old.
One's a woman.
You're a woman. You, I don't like. And gets to Rex, starts smelling his ass. She's like, I like this one. I want this one. This is the one for me.
Yeah. And we've got basically one of those arranged marriages for diplomatic relations type series where Trump's like, great, my dog's found your dog and they're going to marry and they love each other. And that's how it's going to, connect England and America.
Yeah, it's a real Catelyn Stark, Ramsay Bolton kind of, not Catelyn Stark, Sansa Stark, Ramsay Bolton kind of situation. Or for the readers, Arya Stark and Ramsay Bolton.
And the defining feature of Trump's dog or Melania's dog. Well, and we should also bring up Trump famously was the first president in like 118 years to not have a dog. So he's not a dog person. So the 2 things that you're seeing in this movie about Trump are that he takes selfies with people, like he forces them into selfies, and that he has a dog. Neither of which, again, are the defining characteristics of Trump, of which there are many famous ones.
And hey, look, I know nobody cares or asks, but I like that Trump doesn't have a dog. I actually like that about him.
Yeah, it's refreshing to just have an outsider without a dog for once.
Yeah, like, oh, can I bring my dog? Like, yeah, I guess. Like, what am I going to say? No? Of course you can bring your dog.
Well, I will say that his dog does have one of his defining characteristics is that she doesn't understand consent and is consistently going after this dog in a very aggressively sexual manner, to which he says no multiple times, and she gets violent with him.
Yeah,
so once she picks,
can I go back to
Rex?
the introduction of that dog as well?
Yeah.
He says like, go, you got many choices there. Grab them by the puppy. He says, does he? He said that. Yeah.
Did you just think of that? Or did he say that?
He said that. He said that in the movie.
I had one of those.
I pointed it out as well.
Oh, I had a complete blackout for that moment because that's too.
You
good.
were living in the like euphoria of seeing an animated
Trump. Yeah,
3D animated
seeing Trump on screen in a Belgian animation.
It's very funny.
So then the character, also has the kind of same sexual assaultiness where it's being told no, but the female is very sexually aggressive. And this is a point where we start to see maybe this is part of why critics don't like this. This is clearly a film for kids. And there's in the first 5 minutes, we're seeing basically an aggressive attempted rape for comedy purposes. Yeah. And you can see that like you don't really want your 6-year-old daughter to be watching this and see that that's how you should behave.
Yeah, there was one very troubling moment where he'd escaped her first attempt, but they were still in the same room, and it's not over yet. As all of us know, as victims of sex attacks, it's not over.
If you're in the same room, it's not over.
It's not over. And this dog, and it's like an upward shot of her. She's sort of elevated on a platform of some, like a table, I guess, and she's sitting on. What is she sitting on? It's like a toy pony or something, and she's got this tape in her hand, and she's swinging it around like a lasso, and she's just got and she's got this real maniacal look on her face, and she's saying gross stuff like, I see you like the chase as much as I do. But just that one moment of her swinging this thing around like a lasso, and then she flings it at him, and it attaches to his ankle, and she draws him in with this.
It's all the like crawling away stuff. It does remind me of like that's a like a 90s trope. Like that was like in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
the drag off and sexually assault.
And he's actively trying to run away, and at certain points he throws thumbtacks all over the floor so she can't like get near him. And at one point she gets like on top of him, holding him down, like pinning him to the ground, and he manages to pick up like a stapler, and he's like trying to shoot staples at her. Like and I think he hits her in the face, and she's like, wow, you really don't want this. But she's just pursuing him hardcore.
Which is what you want to teach like a 5-year-old. If they like the Queen's Corgis, they better know how much that these female Corgis want to fuck.
Yeah. And so we were saying this film seems a little dated even just 3-4 years on because, number one, the Queen has died. So what's all this Queen business? We're past
this was 2019. I'm going to guess that it went into production like 2017 maybe.
Yeah, I reckon they watched the news of Trump visiting Buckingham Palace, saying hi to the Queen, probably saying something slightly insulting, and then just being like, "This is so funny. We could make a whole movie of this. We should commit $20 million to animating this."
So we thought at this point, like, is this going to be the whole movie? Is the whole movie going to be about improving diplomatic relations between the UK and the US by way of this rapey dog and the main...
A marriage of kingdoms, you know.
Yeah.
These guys can bring
and his
them all
wife's
together.
corgi,
Yeah.
should I say.
And is it just
A
going to
rapey dog and his wife's corgi. See what I'm doing?
Hey,
See what I'm
yeah, I
doing?
see what you did.
I'm proud of that one.
The rapist.
the old switcheroo?
Well, so she the female Trump's corgi runs him into the room where Trump is having dinner with
Yeah,
the
so
royals.
there's a long chase scene.
There's some kind of joke there about him liking British food for being so green and watery or something like that.
The Queen's like, "How do you like the dinner, Donald? Do you like the English cuisine?" And he's just eating like pea soup, but he just says like, "Yeah, it's good."
Yeah, they make him look pretty good there. He
Yeah.
has the good graces to be like,
Yeah.
great soup, great super soup.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the dog touches his foot, he turns to the right of him and he's like, "Oh, footsies, I like that. That's fun." And she's like, "What?" It's like, "Oh, yeah." No, he would have said something really fucked up. But he gets tripped under the table and then flies mouth first into Donald Trump's crotch. And
takes a bite as well.
Being like, "I believe this is your corgi."
No, but so he stands up, reacting to being bitten on the junk,
Yeah.
and he spits and like spills a bit of green soup on the Queen, and she's like, "Oh my God, what have you done?" And he's like, "I think this is your dog." Now, when Trump is commenting on the deliciousness of the green soup, he just says something like, "Oh yeah, it's good, it's really great," and I'm like, again, Trump famously says like tremendous, this is the greatest thing. Like they didn't even put that in there. Yeah. They like really didn't want to touch any of his real things and just make stuff up about him instead.
It wasn't a bad Trump impression.
Fake news.
Yeah, in fact, because
Fake news.
I think there's a lot of low hanging fruit with Trump, and other than just doing his voice and sort of, animating him the way that he might look, it was pretty good. Like they didn't fall down any of those obvious kind of Alec Baldwin-esque.
I don't know. I would have liked if he came in and been like, "I like these dogs, small dogs, inbred dogs. See, you know me, eat these inbred dogs, tremendous." That sounded real Italian.
No, but they had him being a little Italian.
They did.
They didn't have the kind of old crustiness of Trump's like 78-year-old man voice. They had the kind of like Trump back in the day when he's like running the mob in Atlantic City kind of guy. They were playing that version of him a bit more. But it was not a political movie. So if you're a huge Trump supporter and you can't stand all this woke content that makes fun of your God Emperor, you can probably enjoy the Queen's Corgi. I don't think it will put you off that much.
I do think that, it's probably it's trying to hit such a broad audience. It's not trying to make any
a broadience, we call it.
Anybody that has even a passing interest in any monarchy is a racist, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're watching this movie, you're a racist, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. If you know who Prince Philip is, you've gone too far for me.
Yeah, that's worse than what that dog did.
I'll head out.
Yeah, take a walk.
So then we cut to tires screeching. Donald Trump is off.
Yeah.
He's out of there.
And the Queen does get a little mad at her favorite corgi, and she says something like, You're
not the top
You're
dog?
in the doghouse.
Oh, yeah.
She
You're
says
in the doghouse, yeah.
And then...
Which, to my mind, is precisely where a dog
where
belongs.
he should be. The dog palace, even.
Yeah.
They should have a little
So I don't know what
corgi
his
palace.
takeaway from that was, because, look, let's just take a step back here. For anybody that's not aware, being in the doghouse as a human is
bad.
Traditionally considered. It is a bad thing.
Yes.
It's not a good thing.
But for a dog, that is
standard.
That's actually just like a house.
It's
You're
not
in
a,
the house.
It's not an
That's pretty
upgrade
good.
or a downgrade. It's just you're in your house.
Yeah, you're in your house.
I feel like he should have just been like, "Oh shit, sick.
All right, I'll just go to
I
bed.
am in the house.
Yeah.
What's up?"
Yeah, you're in the house, bro. So then the dog gets sad at the fact that the Queen get mad, dog gets sad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you the plot
That's
points.
what she should have said.
Queen mad, dog sad. And then the dog has a sad realization where they're like, "Oh man, Queen's angry at me. I think I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave the palace." And so this older dog, I think the older dog's called Charlie, is like, yeah, you really need to. I can show you how to sneak out. And he's like, oh, you've snuck out before? And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you don't know about me. And that's when you get the first
That's when he covers
inkling.
up that sticker.
Yeah. and his Trump 2020 tattoo as well.
MAGA dog.
Yeah. So this is we get the first inkling that this dog is maybe bad, and the way they show us is because he has like a kind of evil face when he says, "There's a lot of things you don't know about me." So you go, "Oh, I think this guy's a bit bad." Anyway, they go for a walk in the park. They have a very short, horrific scene where it's all scary, it's dark, it's misty in this park, and they see some
the
geese
geese.
popping out from behind a
The,
bush.
like zombie sequence.
Yeah, it's like evil geese, but again,
It's about 5 seconds.
yeah, and the goose is not known as the enemy of the corgi.
And it doesn't come back.
It's
Yeah.
not like the predator that everyone knows. If a goose sees a corgi, it'll eat it and kill it. So, but anyway, they're
But it's
scared.
starting to feel like a road movie.
Yes,
It's starting
yeah.
to feel like we're going to bump into a lot of kooky characters, spend 5-6 minutes with them, maybe some misunderstandings.
little
These
bit like-
could be the knights that say knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We realize at this point it's not just about one dog avoiding the sexual
rape.
interest of another dog. And it's not even going to be all about Buckingham Palace anymore. Unfortunately, they've left
Also,
the compound.
I would have thought at some point somebody would have said in the movie Barkingham Palace.
oh, that's
God
good.
damn it,
man.
dude.
That's actually
Said that.
good.
I'm gonna firebomb Buckingham Palace now.
Yeah.
No, I as in a video game.
Oh yeah. In the video game.
In the video game of my life. I don't want someone to find that recording and go, Exhibit A, Your Honor.
He did it.
When I do it,
Yeah. That's why we end every sentence on this podcast by saying allegedly
allegedly.
or in the spirit of humor.
Heath allegedly. Is that
Heath
something?
allegedly.
Heath allegedly died
Heath
from a drug
allegedly.
overdose.
I took too many of my prescription medications. Heath allegedly. Anyway, so this is the real Mufasa and Scar moment.
Yes.
walking across a bridge. Yeah.
We're walking across a bridge.
And Jack Whitehall is like looking back at Buckingham Palace. You can see it from this bridge, and he's like, I think I should go home. And we're going, yeah, you've been gone for about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
You could turn around and go home. You're less than a block away. And then his friend, Charlie, is standing behind him on this bridge and saying things like, oh, I don't think you'll be going anywhere.
So do you think that the geese's like the reason they were included in the plot was as a sort of red herring to signify that these two, Charlie and Rex, had a common enemy and that they were bonded by this difficult yet very brief experience?
No, I think it was just to be like things outside of the palace can be scary.
I think that was actually like a cut thing. I think that they set up that the world was going to be scary, and then they were like, let's just put all those ideas into one setting because we can return to it. We don't have to do so many assets, and put all the weird fucked up shit into the dog shelter, which we'll get to.
Yeah. So
in a
what
second.
happens on this bridge?
Yeah, he falls onto an ice river.
Well, hold on. He gets kicked.
He gets kicked onto an ice river.
Charlie gives him
Charlie
the old.
kicks him.
He's like, "Oh, you want to go home, do you? This is Sparta,"
Yeah.
and kicks him onto a frozen river under the bridge.
And then pushes a brick.
Yeah, like a
Through
concrete
there.
paver.
And then
To break the ice.
Break the ice.
so his foot gets stuck in the
He goes underwater.
Yeah, into like
Freezing cold.
a wheel of a bicycle. He's stuck in one of the little
Spokes.
Spokes.
And he's drowning, and it's quite
It's
horrific.
kind of distressing. Yeah.
And he does manage to pop up for a second to get his kind of two front paws on the ice and kind of yell for help.
But he Titanics out.
But he Titanic slides out. He's too cold, but someone's walking past, a human being, and they
Yeah.
see him.
We get
and
a
that
nice
someone
little fantasy
is,
sequence as well while he's down
yeah,
there.
true. So he fully drowns underneath there, and he goes into this kind of Avatar, the way of water.
Yeah.
And he's in like this giant kind of bioluminescent onion that the queen is in, and he's seeing his favorite green jelly, which we didn't mention, but he uses like Flubber to step into and walk upside down on walls at some times.
When that happened in the movie, I said, Flubber called, they want their Robin Williams alive, which, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was a
But
good
it
call.
got a good laugh.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like the end of that fantasy sequence was quite a funny little segue So it ends with him
Yeah.
being in the arms of Queen Elizabeth, and then
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth is like, "It's time for your suppository," and then he's like, "Oh, I can't wait," and then she starts, and he's like, "Wait, what suppository?" And he wakes up and he's in the vet clinic.
Yeah, and then he says something like, "Oh, you've touched me somewhere where I don't like." Like the implication
it's like,
that being
you've definitely like crossed a line there. Or
yeah,
something like that.
And he's holding his hands on his butt as well. And so he's woken up in the vet, and she was obviously putting something into his bottom.
yeah, why is there so many of these jokes?
I mean, I think what the moral of this is, doesn't matter what you do, eventually somebody's gonna fuck with your anus or your balls or something.
Yeah, I did. As soon as I started this podcast,
Whether it's
on
a-
a regular basis, I figured that out.
Whether it's the rogue dog of your
That's going to bite you
yeah.
when you're drinking soup. Anyway, so after the vet, he basically gets put into a kind of a pound, right? Or I don't know if it's still at the vet, but it's a doggy prison with other wayward dogs. And he gets introduced to them, and of course he's like, "Oh, the Queen will be here soon. They'll find me and they'll come and pick me up." And then other people are coming through and looking at dogs to adopt. And there's that moment where some of them are like, "Please adopt me," and they're like, "Not you, not you." And he gets introduced to some of the dogs there, and they are important because a few of them stay with him for the rest of the movie. But he does see over this window the pink hat of the Queen, that kind of famous pink hat. And he goes, "Oh, she's finally here." And then someone walks in, and then we do like a pan from their feet up to their face, and it is someone wearing like a nice queenish dress and hat.
It's a Queen's outfit on like a
man with a beard.
A male figure, yeah, with a beard, but lipstick
But makeup as well.
And makeup.
So you could call them a transgender, perhaps, maybe a cross-dresser,
Possibly
maybe a
just
non-binary.
non-binary person, but
They have no
essentially
lines,
it's like
so we don't
just
really know.
A man wearing the Queen's gear.
Yeah.
It's true. They don't have any lines. So, they didn't go to the lengths of casting somebody for this
Yeah.
to have a voice. They didn't give
Yeah.
this person a voice. That's right.
I mean, to be fair,
And they did
I
use
can
them as a
solve it.
joke, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
use
they
them as a
did.
I don't know
physical
what the joke was, but they certainly used them.
they weren't trying to make a comment about trans people, or if they were, I mean, they were being referred to as he's by the dogs. So unless
Yeah.
these dogs are misgendering a person in a movie,
And so the
Doesn't
Rex
seem
character's like, "Oh, that's not the Queen. Like, now I'm not interested in being adopted by them." But this other little dog is like, "Oh, I am. I'm very excited." And then that dog pees itself near the feet of this person. And then that person, who's wearing like nice high heel pink shoes, is now disgusted by the dog and then leaves without saying a word. So
Which says to me that non-binary people cannot stand dogs that
Dogs.
urinate.
no,
They just can't.
block up those pisses.
Yeah. And I think also the dog referred to that person as him like 6 times as well.
Yeah, exactly. This little transphobic dog.
So if you,
Which we're expected to relate to this dog.
I mean, what's the
I'm
bigger
an ally.
what's the bigger faux pas in that scenario? Misgendering somebody or peeing on their foot?
probably the misgendering, right?
Probably, because if I pissed on someone's foot, I could definitely puppy dog my ways out.
Yeah.
Way out
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just say that you've got some sort of like liver cancer and you have no control over your bladder. You can get you out of almost any situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
just
my
have
go-to.
to have brain cancer
Yeah.
to misgender
I
somebody.
use it when I get pulled over, anything. Anyway, so what happens at this point is we do cut back to Buckingham Palace, and at this point they're like, "Oh no, Rex isn't here." Like they go to feed the dogs in the morning and they realize he's not there. Charlie, of course, is back and not telling anyone what happened. And we should also say Charlie's really jealous of Rex because Rex is the top dog. That's that's the whole thing of the movie.
whole
But
reason.
I mean, I will say, like, until we get back to Buckingham Palace, his whole thing is just playing up that he should be top dog and framing Rex's disappearance as Fox murder.
Yes.
Foxes.
yeah.
So the Queen gets really sad, and they have like a funeral. They have a tombstone that says "R.I.P. Rex," and she's. Oh yeah, they're looking for him all through the gardens first, and then Charlie's like, "Oh, I found something over here." Some the dogs can talk to each other, we can hear them, but the humans can't hear the dogs. It's one of those movies, right? So the dogs are always speaking in English, and then the humans are being like, "Oh, aren't you a cute little thing?" But I can't hear you. Anyway, so Charlie's like, "Come over here, I found something," and he's like drawn an outline in blood or probably tomato sauce of Rex the dog, and he's left clues that imply a fox came and killed the dog. And so then they're sad, they have the funeral, And they are under the assumption for the rest of the movie that Rex has died, and therefore Charlie will be the next in line for top dog.
The next top dog. Yeah, what does he do? He gets picked up. He goes. Now he's in the.
When they're in prison, they can easily
prison.
escape prison. There's one little dog that can like go under a bucket and like let everyone out. So they all go.
Oh yeah, they meet that little dog who announces that there's not a. He's like, here are the 3 rules: don't wake a sleeping dog, or let sleeping dogs lie. Don't eat from a dog's bowl, which is not as clever as let sleeping dogs lie. And also, there is no Fight Club. Which he says like 4 more times.
Yeah.
Which we thought was just a reference to Fight Club.
Yeah. Rule 1 of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club, right? So that's what they're doing. Of course, 6-year-old kids that would be watching this movie probably not familiar with David Fincher's 1999 adult violent film. But that's not the first and only reference to violent adult films that get made in this movie that there's no way the audience is intended for. So I guess it's just those jokes for the parents or the idiots that do podcasts about 0% movies.
Could be. We are told about the Fight Club. We're given no other knowledge for 10 or 15 minutes.
But I'll say that 10 or 15 minutes, I think they go back to Buckingham Palace. They do all of that boring shit.
They're cutting away, yeah.
And then they've got the Chihuahua sequence where they're just unlocking all the cages.
Yeah. That's when he's getting introduced to everyone as well.
Yeah.
And they're like, this guy, he used to be an actor, an actor dog, and now he
looks like Beethoven.
Yeah, he sounds a bit like Ian McKellen or something. He's got like that kind of gravitas, old English.
Oh, there's a Chihuahua who is voiced by somebody who's doing a Mexican accent, like a Mexican-American accent.
I did check that.
Oh, and there was one joke we did like, remember, where they say, that guy over there, he used to be the best sniffer dog at Heathrow until he got too good at it.
Yeah. That was really weird.
And
He's sort of like a Matthew McConaughey in True Detective season.
yeah.
Going too deep.
Or a Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, where he also goes too deep.
I want to watch that movie, to be honest. A Matthew McConaughey dog who's just like, I keep finding it. I'm just too good.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll bark, I'll bark, I'll bark.
I don't have one. I was trying to think of one. I don't have one, guys. Can we pause the podcast till I get one?
Life is
and
like
we're back. Time is a flat bark.
Could have said dog bowl. Come on.
Hey, can we just cut so I can have another go?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then they go to the Fight Club. That's the important part. They go to this underground Fight Club, and there's like a real big kind of like classic British boxing coach type dog.
He's muscly.
And he's like, all right, guys, let's put your bets in. I got this guy and he's fighting this guy, and they're betting like doggy treats and stuff.
I reckon people who like dogs, I mean, look, I don't dislike dogs. I reckon people that like dogs would just like these movies. Like, oh, there's that breed of dog. Like,
yeah.
How are you guys with breeds of dogs? I've been on this crazy big blue marble of ours that we call Earth for 31 years. And I think I know.
Yeah, I'm like you.
I know
could
the
do
names
like 3
of them, but I wouldn't be able to match any of them.
I know a good amount of dogs. I mean, I really like dogs.
On site?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like the big dog. Bad guy is like a pit bull, you would say.
Maybe a mastiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon if someone said, can you name 10 breeds of dogs, I might be able to get to 10.
Yeah.
But if someone said, can you link those up with these pictures of them, I reckon I'd get like 3 or 4.
But okay, so the big quiet one, right? He shares the cell with Rex.
Okay.
The one who doesn't say anything, but he's huge.
I knew what would happen with him because he's a boxer.
Oh,
so he was going to punch someone later.
I've heard of box terrier. Is that something different?
That's a
fox terrier. Is a box terrier also a thing?
I think a box terrier would be a cross between a boxer and a fox terrier.
Okay,
I'm hoping so.
That's pretty much what they do.
This is like a tongue twister. This is like a Dr. Seuss tongue twister. It's like fox in socks and knocks on box. Fox in socks and knocks on clock. Chicks with bricks come. Chicks with blocks come.
Don't say it.
Chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. 6 sick chicks tick. 6 sick chicks talk. You know, like I can go on.
Yeah, well, you don't have to.
Okay, so when all the dogs get let out of their cages at night, they go downstairs to a fight club. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fully intense. Like it's like dark, moody lighting. There's like dogs about to rip each other up.
They fire up the furnaces, so there's actual fire there.
Yeah.
And they actually do like they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
But they also have like an introduction.
Well, there's two important things happen. One of them is that the dogs that have escaped the pound to go to this fight. There's one, the really big one. Is that the boxer that you're talking about? The one who's
no, he's the I think a pit bull. I would say.
And so the guy who runs the fight says like, "When are you gonna get involved, you big dog?" And he's like, I'm not that kind of dog. Like, I don't fight. I'm a pacifist. Or he doesn't say that, but that's the implication. He's not interested in fighting.
He's got Parkinson's from his career as a boxer.
Yeah, he's like, "You're so big, and I want you to fight." Anyway, then they also introduce the Jessica Rabbit of the story, the Lola Bunny of the story, who's called Wanda, the dog.
And she's just sort of riffing lines like a jazzy number.
She does like a cabaret act, right?
Yeah.
Like she swings in, everyone's eyes are mouths agape, eyes bulging. You know, she's like the hottest and the only female dog in the whole story. And so
you know, it would have been good if they had that old Looney Tunes dog with the knife and fork, like banging his cutlery on the table, like whistling. Yeah. He's just in the background. That would have been really funny.
And so she does this kind of jazz song introduction where she's singing, but it just felt like the music was added in. She wasn't singing a famous song, but she was referencing something about dogs. The line was like something that we'd know. I can't remember what it was.
You better catch my tail.
Yeah, something like.
If you're a dog and you like the smell of my ass.
Yeah. So she's doing it in that sultry, jazzy way where she's walking around and she's doing, you know, everyone in the place is in love with her and she makes eyes with Rex. But then I think we find out that she belongs to, or at least has a crush. Someone has a crush on her, which is the boxing guy, like the scary looking.
Well, she brings him.
Yeah,
she brings him his bowl of food. Is her thing,
right?
Later. So, but all the other dogs are being like, she's so hot.
It's like Rex now lives in this prison, right? So it's basically this is the lowest social strata of the dog world.
Yeah, we're in Oz.
They're living in the council flats.
Yeah.
And so the boxer is like he runs the game. He's got like the weed business going for the whole council flats. She's his side bitch, quite literally.
Sure.
She wears like a pink. If she was a human, she'd wear like a pink tracksuit.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
stripes.
It would say juicy.
Yeah, because she's got that EastEnders accent.
But leave it out.
Yeah,
she'd be saying all the time.
When she's singing, she's like, "Oh baby, yeah, you love me." But then she's like, "Come on, get the fuck out of here."
Out of necessity.
What?
Where are me ciggies? She's Carla Delevingne in that London Fields movie.
Yeah. She's exactly that character.
Out of necessity.
I like that we're referencing movies that we've seen for the pod that no one else has seen.
Go back and listen to London Fields.
Or even watch our clip where we talk about it on YouTube, Truly Rotten Potatoes podcast.
So I like to imagine that historically, like her backstory is that she's just paired up with this guy and her two cronies because, you know, they're strong, they protect her. Who knows, maybe he's even got a big dick. And and now she meets a person or a dog that has a bit of substance who might just change things.
And probably like a medium-sized dick.
I had problems with this as well because the medium-sized dick dog Rex is also from the highest possible social standing in England. He's part of the royal family.
Bragging about his breeding as well.
Yeah, he's coming in there. He's like, I'm gonna win this Wonder Woman away from this poor boxer who's got nothing else going on in his life except for the fight club.
Huge dick as well.
And his huge dick.
But because he's a mudblood.
Because he's a mudblood. Anyway, so that's where we're at the moment, is that he's interested. He's very interested in this Wanda.
But yeah, I think Rex is starting to, like, he's got trying to spit so much game that he's, like, eating from the dog bowl of, like, the big dog.
Yeah.
And he gets his ass handed to him in, like, the yard in front of everyone. But everyone's like, oh, you're like, lucky to be alive. But again, like, you know what? It has been, like, an hour since we've watched this, and it's already fading on me.
Yeah. Well,
like, from there,
I don't even think he was scared of those. The 2 times he gets beaten up by the dog, he's like, okay.
Yeah. But
It's
remember,
like,
he gets pulled into fighting that dog because of the big boxer guy is like, stop trying to ask Wanda to date you because he's openly doing it. And then finally he's like, you know what?
Which is fair
You're
enough.
going to have to fight in my fight club.
Everything
And I'm going to fight you. Yeah.
Totally within reason.
Yeah.
Like he's got this girl who's been standing by his side and getting his dog bowl and stuff. And maybe she's not happy about it, but hey, we're in prison. Who's happy?
Yeah.
And so then this guy just comes along and is like, hey, I'm from the royal family. I'm going to change the whole dynamic of this place. And I'm also going to take your bitch.
All of these characters are in London Fields as well. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like
All of
there's
these
a rich
I'm not being
posh guy.
misogynistic when I say bitch as well.
Yeah, it's
dog.
literal.
Yeah.
And then when he gets pulled into the fight club, all his little doggy friends from the dog pound are like, we're going to have to train you up. So we get a Rocky style montage. And they specifically mention Rocky.
That's right.
And then they're like, you're going to have to fight like Rocky. And then someone goes, well, Rocky loses that fight. And they're like, no, Rocky 2.
Again, a movie from 1977 and 79.
It was all
Yeah.
lost on me. And as I said, I've been on this crazy big blue marble of ours that we call Earth for, 31 years?
I'm a big Rocky fan, and what I will say is that they kill the montage in those movies, and this movie's montage fucking sucked.
Yeah, and it's a
barely
montage
anything.
where
It's just mainly falling over.
instead of someone actually getting better at fighting, as they do in these montages usually, this just shows us that Rex is totally not cut out for it. So we get about 22 visual gags in a row of him doing a different type of training and being bad at it. Whether it's punching the speed bag, some resistance training.
Yeah.
It just ends with him flopping on the ground and being bad at it. And then his friends are like, okay, we're going to need a plan B. When you get in there, look for the closest exit and run. So that's his plan. He's not going to fight. But what ends up eventuating is that...
No, I think he says, wait for an opening and then run.
Yeah, and take it.
That's pretty funny.
And then what happens is they all the little doggies get together and they kind of stand up with Rex against this boxing guy. And so he's like, yeah, fine, I'll take yous all on. But then our big, quiet, giant dog who finally steps in, who said he wouldn't fight earlier, says, and me too. And then I think then even the big dog is like, all right, finally, I'll fight you as well. And he punches our guy in the face to like one of those ones where you punch the biggest guy and they just don't even react. It does nothing to them. And so we're like, oh, this guy that's on our side, our big dog, didn't even get hurt by that punch. And then he punches back and he flattens this bully, knocks 5 of his teeth out. They roll out of his mouth as he like slumps under the ground. And I guess we're meant to celebrate like what turned into a pretty heinous act of violence.
Well, okay, but we are conflating two scenes because the Fight Club scene gets interrupted because they turn off the power during a football game.
Oh yeah,
and they put him away.
Wanda saves him.
But honestly, that's just to make the thing go longer because as soon as they get out into the yard, that's exactly what happens.
It happens.
You don't miss anything.
Yeah, for some reason the fight doesn't happen in the Fight Club. It just happens outside.
Oh yeah, it's because they need the scene in between where they're all in their cells and he gives the rousing
training
speech.
Yeah, and all the training montage.
But it is pretty
Oh, does that-
horrifying.
Oh, that happens all before that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's already got them together.
Yeah.
Right.
But when the Beethoven dog punches the boxer, like, oh no, I mean the whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Anyway, when the dog punches the other dog, and there's just like dog teeth everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like that's like horrifying. Like if you owned a dog pound and you came out and you could see someone's either like kicked or punched a dog in the face, so much that it's like lost teeth and is bleeding. It's I don't know.
Yeah, you would assume a human came in and like abused that dog. And dog abuse is not funny, Morgan. Stop it.
Well, it's not on.
Stop
it is not on.
Well, I just think it's funny to hear a man say when the dog punches the other dog and there's dog teeth everywhere. I just think it's very funny because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, there's not much else that happens in the plot. Like all the characters
Well,
then
that's the other thing.
work
It's like
to get Rex
we had
home.
that feeling when those. Remember the glory days when the geese were attacking from?
that was sick.
And we thought like, here we go, a bit of an Alice in Wonderland. Like, yeah, we're going to meet
Fish
some
out of
people,
water.
fish out of water, go around an adventure, pick up new members of the crew as we go along.
Yeah.
All that happens is he gets himself incarcerated for 3/4 of the movie. And then all of the characters are in that one location and then they escape. So it turns into a great escape movie. But, but they can escape the whole time.
And when they escape, they basically just go straight back to Buckingham Palace. They're like, all right, Rex, let's go to your home.
Yeah.
And so Rex goes home and there's no real fanfare or anything. And he's catching up with his friends. And of course, his evil friend Charlie walks in, and he's like, "Well, that's Charlie. He tried to kill me. He kicked me off this bridge. I nearly drowned." And Charlie's going, "What? No, I didn't do that." And he's just very badly lying about it. And then Charlie's denying it. And then finally, Charlie goes, like, "Hey, what?" Because Wanda's there. He's like, "Hey, Wanda, you should look in that cupboard over there for something, like there's evidence or whatever."
Oh, yeah, I missed this part.
Yeah, and then Rex is like, "Oh, it might be a trap." And she opens the cupboard, and just like it's filled to the brim with kind of merchandise that was all about Rex, because he was a very popular Queen Corgi, as we know. That's why they made a movie about him. And so there's mugs and balls and candles.
Is this true?
And all this
Is Rex
stuff.
a real one?
I don't know if Rex is, but
I don't think
the
it
Queen's
is.
Corgi in general does get,
Yeah.
I guess, a lot of press in Europe.
They were all dead by the time that movie came out.
So then what happens is Wanda gets crushed by like a mountain of merchandise, and Rex is under there as well. And then Charlie lights it on fire, and he's going to burn them alive, including probably take down the whole palace, but literally burn and kill them. And that's where the movie like really steps into its groove.
Yeah, he's got a Zippo lighter. So he walks off after setting this fire and goes into this ceremony.
Which is a coronation ceremony.
That has a red escalator that turns into a travelator that's just like taking him down this red carpet, an automatic red carpet.
And then he goes on this little portable like 6 steps to stand up close to the Queen, who doesn't have to then bend down to put like a little tiara or whatever those things are called.
It's a special collar.
Yeah,
the,
right.
The top dog collar.
Yeah, so Charlie's about to get that, and the other dogs do help stall it for a second.
Yeah, they help infiltrate the palace because they need to get past the guards.
This
not just that,
ceremony's
but
happening.
the other 2 Corgis are present during the ceremony, and the male guy is like, to the female Corgi, he goes like, "Check this shit out." And he picks up the golden collar from the little poofy pillow that it's sitting on, waiting to be presented, and he throws it under the chair less than a meter away. And so that buys them just enough
just
time.
4.5 seconds from when they take what should be the ring-bearing pillow, but they like, "Oh shit, it's empty. Where'd it go? Oh, it's just over there." Like it would be about 4.5 seconds.
Quite a devious little thing for this character.
But it's just enough time for us to be cutting away to what's happening with Rex, which is that he has saved Wanda by grabbing all these balloons and making a kind of up-style helium lifting box that he's put her in. She's like unconscious because it's all smoky and fiery, and so she kind of comes to as she's being floated away, and she's like, "Oh, you got to jump on too, Rex." And he's like, "There's not enough room for both of us." We get the Titanic situation with the door in the water, and he's like, "Leave me to die, but I'm saving your life." And
now here's a fun question for you guys. Would you rather die in your sleep as she was while a whole room is burning down around you, or would you prefer to be woken up by the fact that you're smoking, that there's smoke and you cough, so you wake up, and then fight your way out but fail and then die?
Yeah, I think I'd probably
choose
go
to sleep.
sleep.
Yeah,
good. Sensible
you
answer.
were worried.
Yeah.
How come when you just asked me that, you asked me in Jigsaw's voice?
Is that what it was? Can we remove that in post? Can we get rid of that in post?
Jigsaw should just do Would You Rathers. I want to play a game. Would you rather eat a diarrhea sandwich made from your grandma's ashes?
Not another one.
Or would you rather have a video televised of you banging your own sister?
Just feed me the sandwich. Dude, I'm not going to actually do these things. It's just a question. What are you, fucked?
I do like judgmental Jigsaw. That's a fun
Judgmental Jigsaw.
Be like, whoa, you seem really fucked up.
Can't believe you were actually going to do that.
How would I get your grandma's diarrhea? It doesn't make any sense. So then, anyway, Wanda flies out. She's floating above the gardens of the Buckingham Palace. She sees some of the other dogs that are there to help. She's like, Rex is in there. They go and help. They manage to, right before the collar gets put onto Charlie that would officially designate him royal top dog, Rex, one of the other dogs jumps in, grabs it with their mouth out of the Queen's hand. And
I think it's Wanda, yeah.
And then Rex shows up and she's like, "Oh my God, you're alive." And that's I mean, that's basically the end of the movie.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Well-
So then the queen comes in and is like, I'm going to adopt all of you. And it's so
Yeah.
good. Oh, that's where you went. You're alive, Rex. You were looking for love.
Oh, it's like, yeah, we'll,
You got
we'll
good
take
taste.
you in.
You've got really
we'll
good
take
taste.
Wanda in.
And then it's like, oh, yeah.
And Prince Philip is going like, are we really going to take all these dogs in? Like,
And-
should I get the guards to
Oh,
get rid
also
of them?
earlier on when they were in bed together, Prince Philip, and this was after Rex was dead.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering about this.
To their knowledge, Rex was dead.
Yeah.
And he's reading a book called How to Kill My Dog.
yeah.
Very strange because Philip doesn't like Rex either, just because he's a bit of a troublemaker. But why he would be reading a book called How to Kill My Dog once they've got rid of Rex?
Yeah,
is
he's already gone.
Assumed to be dead at this point. It was like a weird visual gag that didn't really make sense.
Maybe he
Made
was
no
trying to get
sense.
into the mind of a dog killer into another cut of the movie, which again sounds pretty good.
So what, at the end, she adopts all these dogs.
And
then
Charlie gets the top dog
Charlie
collar.
gets the top dog collar. He's left in the dark room by himself. And then they're like, oh, don't worry. He doesn't know what he's in for. And
Yeah,
then
that's right. So yeah, they're all like, "Well, Charlie's still got the collar. Like, is everything going to be okay? He's top dog." And Rex, Jack Whitehall, is like, he doesn't know what that means, and it's not what you'd think. And we're going like, "What the hell
Yeah, what
does
are
it
you
mean?"
talking
Like
about?
you said, this is the one thing you've wanted all movie, but then we find out that the top dog collar means you are the one who must have sex with Trump's dog.
because we see that limousine out the front again. Trump's dog is in there.
It's not even a limousine. It's like a VW Bug, but it's gold. It's
yeah,
Oh,
like
was
a-
it gold?
it's
I didn't know.
Yeah.
If I imagined the gold part. It was either gold or a limousine.
Trump would go gold limousine, but he wouldn't go bug.
Trump
car,
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they ride off into the sunset together, which to me, like I pointed out when we were watching it, we already had the scene where she rejected 3 of the 4 corgis.
Yeah, she'd specifically
already
said no
like,
to
"Oh,
this
no,
guy,
not
to
this one."
Charlie. Yeah.
So the notion that all one has to do as the dog is to achieve top dog status,
And then Trump's dog will love
and then Trump's dog. That's not how.
But again,
it works.
he's just like, no, please. And she's like
Looking at
dragging him into the thing.
He's looking out the window, like screaming for his life as he's about to be fornicated with against his will. And that's.
Which we decided to stop doing in cartoons a little while ago.
And also, we've eased off doing it in real life.
yeah,
yeah.
it started with cartoons, but that's the way that was going to start again.
ended with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cartoons always lead the way.
So there we have it. The Queen's Corgi, an animated comedy film about the Queen's Corgi, Rex.
Yeah.
And we watched it. We spent an hour and a half watching this for you fucks.
We did it, so you didn't have to. But this time, you have to do it. And it's Australia's hardest podcast, Truly Rotten Potatoes. Did we like this movie, guys?
Yeah, should we give it a score? We should also say Hayden's not here because he has COVID-19.
He's got COVID for the 19th time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sous vide his.
Have we already done
COVID.
this bit on the podcast about how it would be funny if COVID-19 had like all these earlier versions that were stronger than it, like how the androids in Dragon Ball Z, when you get
Get
to
weaker?
you start with Android 20 and 21, who is like the one of them's a bit rotund and the other one's an old man.
Then 17, 18 are like
and
real
16
killers.
is like the
Once you get to Android 5, it's like the most difficult thing you can get to. Yeah.
yeah. So COVID-19, I
Is
like to
like
imagine
Android
it's sort of like
19,
Android
yeah.
19.
And it's going to get worse as you go backwards in time.
Yeah, it doesn't add. Well, it's the same thing as I was saying yesterday about the Pokemon gym leaders. Do you think Brock knew that he was the easiest, shittiest gym leader?
Yeah, because he was so bad that he gets beaten by a 10-year-old kid on like day 1
Yeah.
who lives in the town next door. So he'd be like, dude, a 10-year-old just came up, creamed my Onyx, destroyed me. I think I'm going to just go with that guy now.
I think that he is also dealing with like a chronic like porn addiction.
Well, he's rapey.
rock hard.
Yeah.
He's Brock
He's
hard.
rock hard.
Yeah. But
Part of
isn't
the
that
rock
isn't
gym.
that odd to you, Mitch? That you're like, imagine your job is defending a gym and you've got all these badges that you're meant to give if people can beat you, but it's meant to be like it's like getting a new color in your belt in
Yeah.
karate or something.
Well,
right?
I can't even remember if there is actually they don't call it the first gym, right? They call it
just the
the
rock
rock
gym.
gym.
Yeah.
So it's only within our experience of playing the games and watching the TV show that we go through that sequence, but it's not necessarily like the order that you would do it. Like if I lived over in Saffron City, I would start with the Saffron gym.
Yeah.
But
which is fucked up because it's way harder to
way
beat
harder.
those gyms.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also just the fact that you're like, my job, I live here and I work here is defending this gym. And 10-year-olds that started yesterday or last week are beating me. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to just hang out with that kid for the rest of my life.
The gym game in that city, in Pewter City, was just so low, so easy to get into.
You just need a water Pokemon as well.
You just apply on Gumtree for this. Come and do the gym stuff. It's casual role.
You got something rock? You got anything rock?
Yeah, work from home whenever you want. Don't even... You know, to be honest, mate, like most of the previous gym leaders haven't really shown it. It's just kind of ceremonial.
Yeah.
We give the badges out.
Yeah,
anyway,
the kids.
You know, anybody who puts in anyone that puts in the effort can get a badge. Declan's microphone just jumped.
I'm still good, man. I just
got
pulled it off.
Uppercutted.
That's the important part.
And so, in light of all of those facts,
what would you give the Queen's Corgi out of 10?
A 3 point. No, that's too generous. So. No,
that's too genitals.
No, I think that you're right.
Yeah, 3.8.
A 3.8?
That's going in the system.
I'm going 3.7. You're right. Because we had fun.
Yeah. Right.
And there's a lot of these that you just...
Yeah, there's a real slog. This one was...
I'm going to give it higher than that, boys.
Could have moved it a bit.
Higher than that?
I'm going to go like a solid 5.1.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I actually thought the animation was pretty good.
Really good.
Like,
I mean, it's good, but it's not like...
It's obviously
it's
not Pixar
suck my
level.
Dick good.
It's suck my kiss level. It's 90s Chili Peppers.
It's clear that it had a budget, but like it was so generic looking.
Yeah.
It was like home brand.
But I wouldn't watch these movies unless I had kids and I was forced to at gunpoint by those kids.
Yeah.
But I actually thought like all the lighting and shading and stuff was good. The kind of physics were in that fun way of what I assume is either DreamWorks or like DreamWorks knockoffs.
Yeah.
So there's a few really good companies that do the animation. There's obviously Pixar is like the kind of gold standard. DreamWorks is up there. Illumination, they have the new Mario movie. They do the Minions and stuff.
Yeah.
That's more like this. It's like it's got a kiddie bounce to it, like the way the characters move and stuff.
I was gonna do like a 3D hentai production company. Call it Wet DreamWorks.
Hey, okay.
Just call it Wetworks.
Wetworks. Yeah, I guess it kind of dismantles the pun.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
What are you doing, man?
What about Wetworks?
Anyway, I actually thought it was pretty good, and for $20 million, I mean, obviously that's a lot of money compared to what Mitch makes annually post tax. But in film budget wise, it's not that high. And like I reckon this Mario movie that's about to come out is like $100 million plus. Like there's a big difference. So for that, it stood out. I did notice when they had the fire and when they had the part where he was shooting the water hose to put the fire out. I'm like, the liquid sims aren't that great. The smoke sims aren't that great.
I had the same thought about the Sims.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they wrote that scene. I feel, you know what? Can I take mine down to a 2.7?
You're allowed to because I'm feeling generous.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I'm feeling genitals in my hands right now.
Because this movie was actually written by grade A morons, which they wouldn't get a grade A for that.
I just feel like, Mitch, I know it's been a long time since we did an episode, but you're saying 2.7. That is lower than so many bad movies.
No, I said 3.
He's saying 2.7.
Oh, you've got it down 2.7.
So that's worse than you gave 1,000 Words with Eddie Murphy. It's worse than you gave Cabin Fever. It's about what you gave Max Steel. It's worse than you gave Precious Cargo.
You know what? In comparison to those, they did have more fun with this.
Yeah,
that's you're right. Keep it as is. Keep it as is.
Well, what was as is? I dropped
3.7.
Okay, 3.7. Okay, I can do that.
I loved 1,000 Words.
1,000 Words was pretty funny.
So fun.
Actually, I think it stopped being funny, and that's why I hated it.
Yeah, because it was funny, and then Eddie Murphy wasn't allowed to talk. For an hour.
Oh yeah, you're like that was one of the worst things you could do to
That's
a movie.
all you can do is silence
silence Eddie Murphy.
It's weird that I don't remember the movies, like what happens in a lot of these Truly Rotten Potato movies, but I do remember the psychic damage I received from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The feeling of it.
Just being like, my stomach hurt this time because
All right. Well, it's really great to have done another episode. We only have a handful of films left. So I'm going to quickly just go through the list of what we have remaining that we haven't done yet.
Okay.
We have Gotti from 2018.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a fucking banger.
We have John Henry from 2020. I don't know anything about that one. We have another 2020 movie that I saw on Netflix that I nearly watched accidentally until I was like, why does this name sound familiar? And then I quickly looked it up and I was like, that's a 0%er. That's where I've seen that one. And that one's called The Last Days of American Crime.
Oh yeah,
that sounds
I heard
fun.
about
Yeah.
that. Oh, I heard it's not even fun. That's why.
What is it set 9,000 years in the future? Because I'll tell you,
They've got a
Americans
lot of
have
crime.
gone wild. Guns.
They've got a 2020 movie. So there's 3 2020 movies we got left. The other one's called Hard Kill. I don't know anything about it. It has a Bruce Willis in it, so I think it might be similar to Precious Cargo. And this is Bruce Willis right up to the point where he was
Able to
about
talk.
to retire for aphasia, which I believe they are now saying is
Fake.
full-on Alzheimer's or dementia. Right?
Yeah. Because I think they had to tell people to stop yelling questions to him because they're just disorienting a sick man.
Yeah, which is fucked up.
Yeah, that's
What a way
really
to go,
really
man.
fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of fucked up, you guys hear about that actor who died a few days ago? Was it Robert Blake?
No.
Robert Blake?
Is that his name?
What's his
This is a
story?
great story. This is a great story. Well, not the part that he died. He
Yeah.
died as an old man. So Robert Blake is an actor. I'm pretty sure it was yeah. He was in a TV series called Beretta. He's in Cold Blood. He was in a bunch of movies in like the 60s and 70s and
Okay.
stuff. Anyway, he was charged with murdering his wife.
He's the guy from Lost Highway, the camera guy.
Yeah, he's in the David Lynch
because
movie.
he actually he got
He got acquitted of killing his wife,
but
right?
he was successfully sued for the wrongful
the civil
death of his
case.
wife.
Yeah,
Yes.
similar to O.J. Simpson.
So technically, he was
Okay.
found guilty in a public
in a
opinion.
Yes,
But he's the weird guy who's like, I'm at your house right now.
yeah.
It's like, what are you
Okay.
doing to me?
But so the woman he allegedly had murdered and then was acquitted of and then found guilty in a civil trial of a wrongful death was this woman called Bonnie Lee Backley. And I read her wiki page after this. It's one of the craziest things I've ever read in my life. So we can jump onto that in a second. But yeah, supposedly he had her shot in the head while she was in a car and he was at a restaurant. They'd gone to a restaurant together and then he was like, I got to run back in and grab this gun that I left in the restaurant. You just sit in the car. And then someone came and shot her in the head.
Okay.
And so he was like, it wasn't me. I was in the
was
restaurant
looking
picking up
for
a
my
gun.
gun.
Yeah.
And then they were like, they looked into that and they're like, well, technically, yeah, the gun that shot her was not the gun that you were looking for, but also did you just hire someone to kill her? And they kind of accused them of doing that. But let me get the wiki page up for this person. We don't have 80 minutes to go through this, but the highlights on this story are just like so crazy that the person this guy was married to were just so wild. So so when she was married to Robert Blake, that was her 10th husband that she'd had. So she was killed in 2001. She was from New Jersey. And she dropped out of high school at 16 to go to New York and try and become a model. And she met this guy, this immigrant, who needed to get married to stay in the United States, right? So they got married for a price. So it was like a green card marriage. And then almost immediately ended the marriage. And her ex-husband now got deported, like very quickly. Then at the age of 21, she married her first cousin.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
they were together 5 years, which was the longest of her 10 marriages. They had 2 kids together. They got divorced.
Okay.
Then she started a mail order business sending nude pictures of women, including herself, to men. She ran this Lonely Hearts Club. So there were like ads in magazines and stuff, like
Awesome.
advertising for male companions. And so guys would write back and you communicate. And I guess you're just sending nudes and like making them send you money and that kind of stuff. And
Lovely
she
stuff.
did this for like years, including illegally, like running it as a scam. She got rich enough to like buy several houses in Memphis, Tennessee.
Sensational.
And one in LA. And she went to Hollywood to like pursue a career in singing and acting, which was unsuccessful. We won't talk about the legal issues about the mail order thing, but then she got obsessed with celebrities, right? And so her friends and stuff were like, she's a full-on celebrity obsessive.
Yeah.
And they had all these phone recordings that came out later where she was like obsessed with celebrities, determined to marry them, and starstruck. And she loved being around them. She was quoted as saying, "It makes you feel better than other people to be around celebrities."
Hell yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about.
So she started. So she would like go to events. She would target them and stuff. She would she just wanted to marry a celebrity. So one of the ones she went after was singer Jerry Lee Lewis, who I also believe did he marry his cousin or like a 14-year-old or maybe both?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, That's Great Balls of Fire, right? Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she eventually met Jerry Lee Lewis. They became close. She was really good friends with Jerry Lee Lewis's sister. And then she had a baby that she called, it's a female, Jerry Jeri, like the female version. She called her baby Jerry Lee and said it was Jerry Lee Lewis's. Then did DNA tests, proved it wasn't.
Yeah.
But she'd still named the baby Jerry Lee.
Yeah.
Then she moved to California. And she left that child with her ex-husband to raise, but financially supported it. So she tried to have Jerry Lee Lewis's baby, had a different baby, called it Jerry Lee, and then was like, okay, the DNA proves it wasn't actually Jerry Lee Lewis's baby. This happens again later, so that's not a one-off.
This woman.
She pursued. This is a good. So she pursued a bunch of other celebrities, Morgan. So some of your classics here: Dean Martin, Frankie Valli.
Oh yeah.
She claimed she dated him when she was a teenager. He denied that they ever dated. And Gary Busey.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Also from Lost Highway.
Then in the early 90s, she became interested in Christian Brando, which is the eldest son of Marlon Brando, right? Mm-hmm. And he became a media fixture when he was tried for the murder of his half-sister's boyfriend. So I don't know if you knew that about Marlon Brando's son.
He come to me on the day of the trial where I was accused of killing my half-brother, somebody's relation. That's what he would have said.
Yeah, he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and got 10 years in prison for that one.
Good on him.
And while he was in prison, this lady, Backley, began writing him and sending him photos. So she was a little pen pal of Mr. Brando, Christian Brando. After he got out, they started dating. And then she discovered she was pregnant a couple of years later with what she thought was Brando's child. So, remember, his name's Christian Brando.
Christian Brando, yeah.
She gave birth to her fourth child,
Christian name,
a daughter, and she named it Christian Shannon Brando. Again, I don't think it was Christian Brando's kid. She just kept doing this name trick. She's like, it's your kid trick. And it's got your name. Like,
well, see, this is the thing. You know, in TV shows and movies, when somebody tries out a scheme that is genuinely pretty good, but it just fails because of one small detail. And then it shows like a montage of them trying other things. You just always think like, we'll just
make
try
one
the first
small
one again.
pivot, one pivot.
Just
fix the details.
Tweak the first thing.
So while she was with Christian Brando, that's where she started dating Robert Blake, right? She met him in a jazz club. She told Blake that she was unsure of who the dad was for her new daughter, Christian Brando. And Blake insisted on a paternity test, which later determined that it was not the real Christian Brando's kid.
Good.
So then they changed the name of the child, thankfully, because it seems weird to keep naming children after people that you just hope are the father.
But Jerry Lee was still called Jerry Lee.
They didn't say that it changed that in the wiki, but...
Mum, why am I called Jerry Lee
Look,
Lewis?
I used to bang Jerry Lee and I thought he was your dad.
I thought I could trick him into thinking
you've got the name.
Dad.
Anyway, so then she marries Robert Blake under the condition that she sign a temporary custody agreement. So this was a thing that... I don't need to talk about that. Anyway, they were married. They never lived together. She lived in a small guest house beside his residence. The relationship was rocky. He was distrustful of her, and he hired a private investigator to find out more information.
And that's where I haven't seen Rocky, so
the private investigator later found out that she had continued to operate her Lonely Hearts scam during the marriage, which she'd promised was a long time over.
But she can't be looking good now.
No,
she's still sending nudes of herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she's dead.
And well, yeah, she is now. So yeah. Anyway,
even in the 90s, she must have been getting pretty saggy.
So yeah, I mean,
this article has one aside that I just want to.
You guys seem to have it's nothing. I got
nothing wrong with sag. Before her marriage to Blake, which was, as I said, her 10th marriage, she had 9 other marriages. Some of them were short-lived. One of them was like a day marriage, one of those kind of classic Hollywood ones, right?
Yeah.
But her 8th husband was a guy called Glyn Wolfe, and he's famous for, get this, holding the record for the largest number of monogamous marriages.
Ah.
He was married 31 different times. And his shortest one was 19 days, and his longest was 11 years.
Wonder what
So
his
he's not
secret
like...
is.
That's crazy.
It's not like he was just like, yeah, I'm going to just
Also,
pump through
like,
him one a month and then...
psychopathic. but,
Yeah,
you know.
very, very strange. But so she's one of his 31 marriages, and he was one of her 10 marriages. Anyway, and then at some point, Robert Blake allegedly had enough of her and allegedly had her shot in the head. So that's some
Jesus.
Hollywood history for you.
He just had enough. But who is Robert Blake?
And who's sicker in the
Oh,
head?
he died the other day.
Yeah, he died. He died, and he was the guy in Lost Highway with the camera over his eye.
Yeah. We come full circle, explaining the details I'd forgotten from the very beginning of the story.
It is very funny to end a story and then for you to go like, who's Robert Blake? I'm like, that's what the whole story was about. Anyway, so yeah, we got a couple of those movies. We've also got the one we haven't been able to find on the list. The one with...
Oh, yeah, The Godfather.
no. The Zoe
Lots of
Saldana
time.
one. Remember we had the Zoe Saldana movie?
From
like 2005 or something?
Zoe Saldana Brand.
Saldana
yummy.
Brand.
Delicious. Yeah. Are there any others that we missed? That one's called Constellation from 2005.
That one's Constellation. I think they added one early on,
Constellation.
but they've gotten they've gotten rid of it off the list.
Oh, there's one in here. Yeah, because the list is what they call a living document.
Yeah,
People
of
change.
course.
Sometimes they apply, sometimes they don't. I actually see one in here that I don't remember seeing before, which we should have done, which is called Beneath the Darkness.
That sounds
A 2011 movie starring Dennis
boring.
Quaid.
Oh, God.
Fuck yeah.
So
Let Dennis.
yeah,
It's going to be about submarines.
I'd rather some Randy Quaid, and I want some like late 20s Randy Quaid.
You want now?
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
current day Randy Quaid.
Take some Quaid.
But besides that, I'm only seeing a handful of movies. I'm seeing John Henry, Last Days of American Crime, Hard Kill, Gotti, and then if we go back and add in this one, that would make 5. And then if you add in Constellation, which I just couldn't get, and I didn't want to buy on American DVD and get imported. But to finish the podcast, I am willing to take donations.
This is true.
Yeah, don't you think Quaid sounds like a side you might order at a sort of at a diner? Yeah, get a side of Quaid.
I'll get a side of Quaid and a side of HE endings.
Yeah.
It does sound like something that I would be screamed at when I went on my got my ass to Mars.
I don't get it.
HE ending sounds like a science fiction.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling.
novelist.
Yeah.
HE endings.
J.R.R. Tolkien, HE endings.
Hey guys, I'm back. What were you guys talking about this whole time?
We loved your performance as Rex, the Queen's Corgi.
Yeah, it really wrecked me.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks guys.
a lot.
Thanks, guys. See you sometime ever.